I keep stopping the video and I'm like, why am I doing this? And the biggest thing about this journey that I'm going on, or that I'm currently on, and how it relates to me and who I am as a person, I believe that YouTube is kind of one of those things that, again, I have grown up with. These are one of those things that I tapped into at a very young age. And so I just kind of enjoy the process. I enjoy watching videos, taking advice, learning different things, and helping creators feel important, feel like they are doing something that they want to do. They're doing something that is beneficial in helping, the community and their environment and their platform of people who come in to watch them, right? Basically, the way that I'm thinking about it right now is kind of like a just do it, right? The way that we tend to take ourselves so freaking seriously is absolutely hilarious. Like, I have seen, listen, it's hilarious. We don't have to take it that seriously, right? Like, when I think of us not doing exactly what we want to do when we want to do it, of course not those ill feelings and those ill intentions that everyone can possess, but I'm talking about those feel-good things, those things that are beneficial, those things that serve people outside of ourselves. When we don't do those things, other people are starving because of it. Other people are malnourished because of it, right? Like, imagine if your favorite Popeyes restaurant just decided not to make any chicken that day. You'd be pissed if you wanted chicken that day and they didn't make any chicken. You'd be mad, you'd be upset. Imagine if YouTube was just gone like TikTok overnight. You'd be livid, you'd be like, whoa, like I gained so much from YouTube. What happened to it? That's exactly how people feel for you not showing up. And I had somebody tell me that in so many words. They were like, basically people need you exactly how you are, who you are, where you are, and why you are, right? Like, they need you for who exactly you are. So just do it. Do it because you can. Do it because you have the right to. Do it because God gave you the opportunity to. Do it so you won't be a waste of flesh. We don't even waste animal flesh. In all my awesomeness, in all my spectacularness, in all of my uniqueness, I believe that the thing that makes me who I am would be the most beneficial to other people, or the way that I've constructed my being to be at this point in time, this point in my life. I believe that it's, what's the word? It's absolutely necessary. It is so necessary to, again, be myself and just do it anyways. What if one day my nephew wanted to watch my YouTube channel someday and he feels inspired by me? What if one of my little sisters see it and they're like, oh my gosh, I can do this? What if a friend of mine sees it and they're like, oh my gosh, like, I want to do it? Not even just YouTube, that's anything. Having the confidence, having the audacity, having the balls to do anything, right? You want to be able to be the best version of yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that finish line version of you needs this version of you, the version of you that is scared to do it scared. Do it scared. Do it hungry. Do it full. Do it ugly. Do it fat. Do it skinny. Do it however, but just do it. And I think that, again, like, Nike is so smart for that slogan. It's for the times, right? Because we have all been catapulted into this version of life that's not exactly open to people being themselves or to any type of like individualism. And I think that once we start to head in the direction of making things, let's normalize very, very normal things, that's crazy. Let's normalize you being yourself. I'm not saying I'm not finna subscribe to that. That's not it. There's nothing to normalize. Just do it. There's nothing to normalize. Just do it. Do it because you can. Do it because it would be a waste of God's green grass, this precious air, this flesh, for you to just do nothing. You want to hunch all day. You want to roll up all day. You want to drink all day. And not to say any of those things are wrong, okay? But to a degree, to an extent, right? And they cannot be more important than you stepping into your full authenticity, stepping into you being you, you being your purpose. You are the purpose. You are your purpose. That is the only purpose you have. Being you on purpose is the only purpose that you have as an individual, right? Like my first video or my second video to choose which L you're gonna take. People often ask me like, how do you not take an L? Why do you not take an L? Because I don't think of life in terms of losses. I don't think of life as losing. I'm sorry, but I just don't. And I know that, again, I could receive a lot of victim points. I've been through a lot. I could get a lot of pat on the backs and a lot of tears and a lot of prayers. I don't want it though. You can keep that. You can send me some money, but other than that, you can keep it. I think one of the things that people like to do to themselves, and I feel like I experienced this too just a little bit, is kind of being like, well, why me? Okay, but why not me? Wait, if not me, then who else? And y'all be so mad. Like I've definitely been in this position where I'm like, it was an observation that I was kind of like, what? Why are they online? Why not? Maybe because they can. So you're gonna so all this time pass while all this bullshit is getting posted, all these interesting human beings are spreading their essence, and you're not gonna go spread yours? Doesn't really make sense. Especially when you have the free will and you have the option. You just don't have the audacity. You don't have the confidence. What? That's the only reason you're not doing it? Right. Well, in my case, I have the time, I have the audacity, I have the option, and I have the free will, especially now. It would be a literal waste to not follow through with something like this. Excuse me. I have my, you can't see it. It's like a tray thing, but do it tired. I'm tired, I'm sleepy. Do it tired. I know that, I don't want to say structured, it will be a little bit more structured, but as of right now, like I said, I didn't want to not get on here because I have no reason to. What am I gonna be? I would be sitting here on my iPad, scrolling or reading, writing in a journal, reading a book. Like there's just, yeah, I could be doing plenty of other things, but this is what I want to do right now. This is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. Like I know that there are so many other people that want to do it too, and why not? I think it's one of those things that it's like a praise break for me. Like outwardly praise. If you know, you know. I do this in person. Like I'm the type of person that is very much, you know, I like to give people praise. I like to give people acknowledgement, maybe because I didn't get a lot of it whenever I was younger, but I feel like even if I did, I don't know the difference, right? But I feel like even if I did, I would probably, based off of who I am still, or currently, I probably would still be the same way. Like give very much a lot of praise, compliment people, give words of encouragement, motivation, but because we have those options kind of already embedded into our lifestyles, it doesn't make sense for us not to utilize them because they're always going to be utilized. I'm just showing up and I'm just doing it anyways. I don't know what the next video is going to be about. I don't even know what this one is about, really, besides just do it. Do it tired. Do it scared. Do it when you aren't sure what's going to happen next. Do it because you feel encouraged or because you feel led to do so. I think that a lot of times after, you know, we get past that, oh, well, you know, why me? Why should it be me? Why does it have to be me? I feel like the next kind of part of that is, of course, why not? You have every right to, but also how, right? Or I don't know if I can. So after why not me? Why not me? But I don't know if I can. Well, why couldn't you? Why can't you? Oh, you have this going on at home. Oh, you have this situation. Oh, you have this problem. I'm an individual who has a lot of situations that I could very much and very well use to say why I couldn't get on here. I think that like situations like those kind of like are good indications for me personally, because these are situations where I probably would have been, you know, years ago, but I probably would have been irritated or mad to the point where it would just, I didn't get anything done. Whereas now I understand that I am kind of being tested in a way by my old version of myself. Do you really want it? Do you really want to do this? Or are you just saying it? You got to understand, if you do it or not, there's not going to be many people affected besides the fact that you didn't show up for them as yourself. But there is still someone who's going to show up as themselves and do 10 times better than you. But how do you know if you haven't done anything at all? They've already done better than you because they just did it. They've already done better than you because they just showed up. Is that not crazy to think about? So you've automatically lost, you're automatically losing, you automatically suck because you just didn't do it. What? Stop playing with me. I know that there are some talented people out there. Hell, I'm talented. That's why I'm here. Yeah, I know I can do it. I may not know how. I may not know what exactly I'm gonna do. I don't know where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna be right here on YouTube. I know who's gonna be doing it. It's gonna be me. I know why. Because I want to. Because I can. Because why not? Because I can help people. Because I can motivate people. Because I give good advice. Because I'm an awesome big sister. I'm an awesome woman in general. Why not? Right? I may not know how, but I do know, ouch. I do know that I'm going to make it through. I do know that besides or in spite of the chaos, that this is not the final destination. This is not the determining factor. How is not the determining factor? All the other ones are, right? All the other ones are. You can work through the chaos. You can work through the bad day. You can work through the tears. You can work through the, I mean, take a break if you need to cry or, you know, got a stomach ache or hangover or something like that. But you can work through all that. You can still work through all that, especially once it starts to make sense. Especially once it starts to make dollars. Seriously. I think that do it in spite of. I was freezing, so I got a heated blanket. My back, I don't want to sit. I put a pillow. But what if people don't like your posters? I took them down. I took them down because I wanted to, honestly, but I took them down because it wasn't leveled enough for me. And so because you couldn't, where I wanted the camera to be at for me, cut off like half of the poster, I was like, I'm gonna take it down. I'm just gonna take them all down. So yeah, but I did not let that be an excuse. I don't know where to record. Like, show up anyways. Come as exactly as you are. Of course, you know, I don't think that's supposed to come out. Of course, you don't want to come naked or anything. I mean, you could. In terms of like how I told y'all, it's not about how to the point of like perfection. Because like I'm doing it now, I don't care how I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. Maybe later down the line, maybe I won't have this vase, or maybe, you know, I'll hide my sewing machine better, or maybe I'll get a better chair. But it's not, the how doesn't really matter so much as now, right? Now it's more of the what. So it kind of has that like power kind of shifting going on where, you know, now it's the what, it's not so much the how, and then eventually it will be the how. It's not necessarily the what I'm saying. It's how I'm saying it. It's how I'm coming across. I think that that's a shift that we kind of see with celebrities a lot. Like whenever they get famous, people don't care. Before it wasn't what they were doing. It wasn't how they were doing it, but it was what they were doing. Like I watched this girl go. She was a flexibility coach, and she would stretch. Super awesomely flexible lady. Super cool. Stretchy, fleshy lady, so cool. It wasn't how she was doing it. I really didn't care how she came. I just think that it was kind of, I was like, yeah, like she's doing the damn thing. Again, it wasn't how she was doing it, it was what she was doing. She had just started, she was on her shit, nothing matched, nothing was aesthetically pleasing, but she showed up and she was pretty freaking cool to me. Personality and everything, the way she did her hair, the way she did a lot of things. Years later now, she's super famous, she has all these clients, she's really well known, and all of a sudden, I noticed the shift where people were like, oh, in that room, mind you, this is the same page, same lady, and some of the same people. I've been following her for years. I thought she would have got a better poll by now. What? This lady can't, her poll can't just be like good quality. Like, she has to have a new poll. And that's when I noticed, I'm like, okay, yeah, people are more worried about how she's doing this, what she does, rather than what she's even doing. Because then eventually she started to stray away from poll and flexibility and all that. And I think she's like a children's book writer or something now. And she does flexibility still, but I think she writes children's books now. And she was like talking on one of her videos, and she was just basically like, yeah, like, this is what I'm doing, and this is, you know, how I'm doing it, explaining that. And I'm like, but before, it was not about how she was doing it, not for me. It was more about what she was doing. I was just kind of excited that I saw another brown woman online doing her thing. Like, she was literally just doing exactly what she felt led to do, that it did eventually lead to her, and she could do exactly what she wanted to do, which was clearly to write a children's book. And I think that's super cool. I think that's the coolest aspect of the story, is that she eventually did exactly what she wanted to do. And not to say that she didn't want to do flexibility, but she pivoted. She didn't have to stay there. She wasn't stuck. She wasn't one-dimensional. She was multifaceted. She was multi-talented, and she decided to show that in various ways. But I do notice how, again, in the beginning, it was not how she was doing it, it was what she was doing. And eventually, when she got to where people started to think that she was famous or wealthy or whatever the case may be, people then expected how out of her. And that was years. That was years. Some people never get that expected how. Some people just do whatever the hell they want to, which is, yeah. But anywho, so that's a good example, I feel like, of kind of getting a better understanding of what I was saying before. And I know that I'm going to get better at portraying and conveying my words on camera. And that's kind of, at first I was kind of trying to make like bullet points and trying to stay on topic and, you know, blase, just because I wanted it to seem a certain way or come across a certain way. But I think that's the beauty of starting this channel, is that I'm unlocking a different version of myself. You have a new opportunity to train. I think that is so cool. The way I think about YouTube is how I think about basketball, right? And I think my favorite thing about basketball was practice. And I say that because, again, practice is what makes perfection, right? When you perfect something, you've done it enough times to where you can't necessarily fail, right? You've done it enough times to where you can't necessarily fail. And whenever we'd go like and have a game or something, and, you know, we'd be losing, I'm like, okay, well, it's not the end of the world. At least in practice, we'll do better next time. But I didn't realize, of course, on a collective level, that if not everybody's thinking like that, then my favorite part, which is, again, another reason why I kind of recognize that I'm not like a lot of people, is because I definitely was like, yeah, practice. Yep. Oh, fuck, I missed a shot. Practice. You get it in practice. And I used to have people like, literally like, I guess because I've been so solution-based my whole life. I've been this solution-based type of person, where, like, again, in these type of scenarios where people want to, oh, I did such a horrible job, I'd either be like, yep, you did a terrible job. Yeah, that was a shitty shot. You should make more free throws. And once I learned that that's not what people were looking for, and I still didn't grasp the concept. But yeah, I still didn't grasp the concept, you know, that people were wanting their like ego stroke, or they wanted like, you know, like a pat on the back. Y'all, I did not understand that people wanted to just vent. They just wanted to talk. And I'm thinking that they wanted a solution. My next solution was, yeah, next time, practice. Like, imagine somebody trying to vent to you, or to tell you that or to tell you that they had a really bad time or a really hard time, you know, with a shot, with a free throw, or with their skills. And your first advice to them, as a kid, mind you, we're like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, all through high school, all through middle school. I was fighting for my life in middle school, honestly. Basketball basically was one of those things that I appreciated practice for it. I got the appreciation for practice from, and that's kind of how I related to YouTube, and basically just in a way to remind myself that this is just the beginning. It can only get better. It has to get better. It can't get worse. This is the worst it can get, me sitting up here. It can't get worse. Not for me, at least. The reason why I say can't get worse is because it can't. It can't. Especially if I'm putting in the work, if I'm showing up and I am applying myself in the best way that I know how, it's not gonna get worse. It's only gonna get better. It only gets better. Just show up and do the absolute best you can, right? And that's what I'm doing. So we'll talk about the people that's already on here doing anything. That's the people we can talk about. Yeah, I like them. I'm inspired by them. I'm motivated by them. Yeah, I want to do similar to what they're doing. They walked so I could sprint. I'm going on a marathon. I'm taking off. I was not kidding. I think I said that in my first video. I'm not joking. When we don't know what to do, we tend to settle with doing nothing at all. And that is the worst thing you can do. When you don't know what to do, we tend to settle to do nothing at all, and that is the worst thing to do. Doing nothing at all because you don't know what to do is the worst thing to do, because you're still doing something. Doing nothing is doing something. Doing nothing is doing something. And that can be a good or bad thing as well. Good or bad thing as well. Sometimes it's good to not do anything, right? But not in terms of when you're trying to get on YouTube. When you want to get on YouTube and you're aiming to be a YouTuber, not even just a big star, you just want to share your essence. You just want to share your art, share your projects, share your thoughts, share your knowledge, share your experiences. Just do it. Doing nothing is not an option when your goal is to be on YouTube. Doing nothing is not an option. I would not be able to have this video prepared to edit and to make and have published on Sunday by 6 p.m. if I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't showing up how I am now. So I'm showing up. That's why I'm not gonna have any edits, or I'm not gonna have, I don't have an intro. Not just yet. I don't know how. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna learn how. I'm gonna figure it out. But as of right now, I don't know how. But I do know what? YouTube. I do know who? New Day. I do know where? Right here in my house that I pay bills in. I do know when? 6:31. I do know why, because I can, because I want to, but my how is just it's not there yet, and that's okay. Like, there's people that I have supported, and they don't even know of my existence. I'm a viewer for them, but I mean, yes. I be like, yes, do your thing, pop your big one, talk your ish, yes. Look at them go. I don't know what it is. I really love authenticity. I love when people are so comfortable being quirky, being goofy, being themselves. It is like the cuteness overload. I think that's kind of how I feel about some of the people that I support. Do that. Or like with that meme with Kris Jenner. I love Kris Jenner. She'd be like, with the camera, she's like, "You're doing wonderful, sweetie." That's me I don't have kids, so that's me with my friends, my family, and people that I support on the interweb. Like, "You're doing wonderful, sweetie." Like, subscribe. But thank you. Thank you. I am so appreciative that there were people before me that felt the need to do it. I am so thankful that YouTubers that I watched in my youth didn't succumb to judgment, or that they weren't worried about what someone would think, because they did it anyways. And I was able to be encouraged because I had YouTube. That's crazy. And I am so appreciative for these people, and I support them because they showed up anyways. They just did it, and they're doing it, and they continue to do it, and they continue to be themselves. And even if they didn't touch YouTube ever again, I know that they would still be thriving in whatever else they did, because they have the audacity and the balls to do something like this. This is the practice basically for life. This is the practice for anything. It does not just YouTube. Extrapolate that into anything that you would like to do. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this and you want to do something in your real life, like a corporate job or I don't know, any type of work or hobby or anything that does not harm others, that doesn't harm yourself, do it. Do it. Do it. There's somebody out there that is going to be so grateful for your existence for the rest of your life. I'm gonna show up and be myself. They showed me that it's okay to have unpopular opinions. That was another thing that I was worried about getting online about. What is this person gonna think? What are they gonna say? It doesn't matter. Just do it. Do it because you can. Do it because God gave you the opportunity to do it. And do it because doing nothing is still doing something. And doing nothing gets you nowhere. It takes you nowhere. It does nothing for you unless you're literally resting. Why would you be resting if you're trying to do YouTube? Rest when you're not doing YouTube. Rest when you're not trying to get that corporate job. Rest when you're not trying to get on that team or make that scholarship or make the cut or make that audition. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. Make it make sense. That's it. Well, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. But yeah, so this is my hair. If you want to do anything, just show up, show out, do the best you can, put your best foot forward. Remember that there are people who actually like you already before they even heard anything come out of your mouth. They like what you have to say. They like who you are, what you stand for, and they're just ready for you to step into the best version of yourself. That's it. That's all. Well, that's all, folks. I'll see you next time. Toodles.